Hey everyone, it's Rod with Powbot. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Today's Monday, July 10th. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to be doing some coverage on Trulieve stock, specifically the ticker TRUL on the CSE. We're going to be discussing is the bottom in. We'll take a look at the chart, we'll look at some technical analysis and see what the technicals are saying and what to expect in the weeks and months ahead. But obviously this isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And then some other catalysts that I want to cover as well that are pertinent to Trulieve stock. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified whenever I do any future live streams or when I post a new video. So moving on, we did have an update here from MJ Moment. Schumer says that passing MJ banking bill won't be easy and needs GOP support as he sets agenda for the summer. And we know that there's going to be the August recess coming up, so hopefully we can see some movement. We were told that we should see a vote in the Senate in the next few weeks. That was basically a few weeks ago. So really any week now. And then, like I said, the quicker the better. Before that August recess, you can see here that they don't have any schedule for the Senate or the House during August. So if we can't get it done here by the end of this month, then we're more than likely looking into the fall. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the fall. As we know, the government takes forever, right? They crawl, they walk, and then they run. And it's been stalled time and time again. And realistically, the charts are basically saying that it could be a couple of months. And I'm looking at golden crosses. I'm looking at monthly uptrends to confirm across the sector to indicate that bottoms are in. And I'm just not 100% confident that the bottom is in yet. But we'll look at the chart here in a moment and I'll express my concerns and point out the pros and cons and bullish and bearish thesis. But another MJ Moment article, as I mentioned in a previous video, Feds are aiming to finish MJ rescheduling review this year. So that was from top Biden official. And again, HHS coming back with a rescheduling, reclassifying it. Either they reschedule it or they deschedule it. This could fix 280E and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, right? So this would be huge. We could even see legalization of medical in the US. We know that Ukraine's working on making that happen. And then, there's all kinds of countries across the EU or that are starting to go through reform. But I think that the most likelihood of us seeing a bullish catalyst playing out, the most likelihood of any catalyst, I think, is going to be what's really going to end this bear market and spark a new bull market is going to be HHS and reclassifying MJ. So I think that has the best chance of being our bottom marker, and it's likely going to take some catalyst like that is going to, because we've been in a brutal bear market, right? And we're not even participating in the bubble of everything of 2022, and we've just been in a straight, it's just been a brutal couple of years when, some tech stocks and whatnot are at all-time highs. The S&P 500 not too far away from its all-time highs. And I expect Congress being banned from owning stocks will mark the top in the broader market as well. But like I said, when it comes to safe banking, I'm not putting too much emphasis on that. I think it could be great, but I think it's going to be more than likely a disappointment. And then we'll get the catalyst of HHS and rescheduling or even descheduling. I think that's going to be, the most pertinent and the most significant and the highest chances of being our bottom setter. And then also, legal recreational MJ could be a reality in Florida. So Florida voters will finally have the opportunity to legalize recreational MJ after usage after a proposed initiative received almost 1 million verified signatures, allowing it officially to qualify for the 2024 general election ballot. So that would be obviously huge for Trulieve, as they have a huge presence in Florida, basically running that state. And then Trulieve also commemorated Maryland recreational launch with the first online order. So MJ producer Trulieve in the United States, MSO, multi-state operator, today announced it commemorated Maryland's recreational MJ launch by registering its first online order that would be picked up at the Rockville location, which opens at 8 a.m. today. And this is back on July 1st. We are thrilled to launch recreational sales and see Marylanders immediately taking advantage of the freedom to use MJ for personal consumption, said Trulieve's CEO, Kim Rivers. So great to see it. Love to see it. Tell your senators to support Safe Banking Act, says Normal. And I've done an interview with Normal. If you haven't seen that, I did an interview with Morgan Fox, the political director. This is a nonprofit that lobbies the U.S. government. So again, I highly encourage you to do the same. Get in contact with your local representatives and elected officials and let them know we want change. We also had a Powbot algorithm buy alert go off on Trulieve. So medium to long-term bullish evidence. This is great to see. This went off yesterday. And things are really starting to to get spicy and look juicy here in terms of the weekly time frame. But in terms of the monthly time frame, like I said, I think there's a few months still left of either sideways action or potentially one more bottom, one more leg down, I think, potentially is the most likely scenario. And then we still need to confirm monthly uptrends and then golden crosses across the sector, which we'll look at here in just a moment. But we'll do some technical analysis. I had on the daily chart a daily bear flag with the high, low, a lower high was forming, and anything under 662 there at the 0.32 there at 662 was anything under that was a potential for a daily bear flag. If we got over the 0.382 there at 6.62, then that would have negated that. But once we failed to get above it, it was a weak bounce. And then once we lost support there at 576, that confirmed the daily bear flag. And if you take the measured move, you just go from the high to the low, you move that out to the 0.382. And it said we were targeting about 477, 475. And then we came from that target, we hit a low of 511. So from that low, we were only about 6.5% away. So, and then we hit 515 here, actually. We actually did, or no, yeah, that was the low, 511. So 511 is our low. So only about 6% away. That seems pretty likely that the bottom could be in. But again, the fact that we still haven't confirmed monthly uptrends is a little concerning. And we haven't even confirmed a daily uptrend yet. We broke the daily downtrend, but we haven't gotten a clear daily uptrend, in my opinion. Not enough of a higher low, in my opinion. So I'd like to see a nice higher low here on the daily time frame, maybe back test the EMA somewhere around $6, give us a nice daily higher low and then a higher high to be convinced. And then we zoom out to the weekly time frame, and right now we're still in a weekly downtrend as well. Anything under 803 is a weekly lower high, and that's the most likely scenario because we could still bounce from here another 18+% and still just be in a weekly downtrend. So when we're looking for bottoms being set, we want to see uptrends on all time frames, right? We want to see a clear uptrend on the daily time frame and then on the longer term perspective time frames as well, because when we're in a brutal bear market for the last couple of years, you need to be in uptrends on the longer term, right? So we need daily uptrends, then weekly, then monthly. So we're still multiple, I would say at least 3, maybe 4 months away before, best case scenario before we confirm monthly uptrends. And something that I'm looking for as well to indicate that to be extremely confident that the bottom is in, the long-term bottom is in, we're potentially starting a new bull market and heading back toward 52-week highs and whatnot. I think that we need to get 2, preferably 3 weekly candle closes over EMA 26. So the exponential moving average here in the white is the 26 period. And you can see here it's been resistance, resistance. We haven't closed 2 weekly candles above it since the all-time highs and the highs of February 2021. And if we look at the highs of February 2021 to where we currently are, we're down over 92%, right? So the common theme in MJ right now is things are down 70, 80+%. Some names down 90% plus. Mostly the Canadian MJs hurt more, but even Trulieve, the poster child in the US for the longest time, now down over 92%, right? So you have to start to wonder when we're finally going to start to go the other way, and I think it's very, very soon. And we got the catalyst, like I said, coming up to do it. And I think the biggest catalyst and the most chance of being our bottom indicator is going to be that HHS review and reclassification of MJ. But like I said, if we can see 2 weekly candle closes, preferably 3 over that EMA 26, that would be a huge momentum shift. And right now that EMA 26 is sitting at $7.68 Canadian on the CSC. And then also we basically touched down on monthly oversold as well. So if you know nothing about charting or technical analysis, generally if you sell when we're up here, and again, this is financial advice, this is for entertainment purposes only, not telling you to ever buy, sell, or hold. You need to make that decision on your own. But you do better than probably 99% of retail traders out there and investors when you just sell when we're overbought and then buy down here when we're oversold, right? And especially on the monthly time frame because it's a longer term time frame. But you can see here we finally started the monthly bounce. I mentioned that this could be a nice swing trade as well. If we broke the high of last month there at 582, could be a nice swing trade. And then sure enough, it's seen about 16% of upside just from the high. Even if you went long at a break of 582 when we started the monthly bounce, that's about 16% swing trade so far. And if we go back to EMA 12, that's about a 83% of upside. If we go back to EMA 26 on the monthly time frame, that's about 183% of upside. So, and then to the price action, we don't really have any resistance up until about $21, which is about 270% of upside. And you can see here we had the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross when the shorter term is above the longer term moving averages, and they cross. That's a bear cross. Now we're gearing up for a potential monthly bull cross, and then even a potential golden cross, which I'll show you here in a second, but it's likely going to be many months before we see that. And then, like I said, on the monthly time frame, we still need to confirm monthly uptrends with a higher low and higher high. So we're at least, best case scenario, maybe 2 months, but I would say on the best case scenario, my opinion, is 3 months to 4 months. Best case scenario before we confirm that monthly uptrend. And we need to see that. We need monthly uptrends. Then we need weekly uptrends, daily uptrends, right? We need uptrends on all time frames, especially the longer term. And then we need multiple, at least 2 weekly candle closes above EMA 26. And then, yeah, we're off to the races at that point, in my opinion, with a lack of resistance on the monthly. And then if we look at the 10-week moving average here, we're well above the 10-week moving average, and we're seeing a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD on the weekly time frame, which is exactly what we want to see when looking for a bottom. This is looking really good. And then the last time this happened, look where we were this time. We're even more beaten down now on the stochastic. And then when it happened last time, when we were in a major momentum shift into the run up into February 2021, when the Dems took control of the Senate, on hopes of legalization, we're even more down than we were on the MACD at that time, right? So the more beaten down we are, the longer the base, the higher in space, and the more compression leads to greater expansion, right? So the fact that we're even more beaten down this time around, and we're down over 92% from the 52-week high and all-time high, look what we did here the last time those indicators flashed. So I'm very optimistic for some serious upside here and a bottom being set. But like I said, it's likely going to be at least a few months, in my opinion, as the most likely scenario. I could be wrong, but this is just what my thesis is saying and what the charts are saying to me. But let me know what you think of that analysis and what you think the likelihood of that playing out is. But we have some runway here until the 50 weekly moving average, nothing nearby, and the weekly moving average is until 1087. So that's some serious upside, almost 100% of upside from here. And then if we take a look at the moving averages here on the weekly, we had the bear crosses, and now we're gearing up for potential bull crosses. So again, when the shorter term is above the longer term and they cross, that's a bear cross. And when the shorter term is below the longer term and they cross, that's a bull cross. And when it's on the weekly time frame, that's even more bullish. And then speaking of crosses, bull and bear crosses, we had the death cross back here in summer of 2021. Price was at around $40 and went all the way down to $5. Now we're seeing, again, look what happened the last time we golden crossed, when we were below the longer term and the 50 days below the 200. That's a golden cross. And you can see price went from about, well, when it initially crossed, it was around $14 and then ran all the way up to $67. But then we had another leg down. Just doesn't mean that we're going to see the upside right away, but it could be many months, right? And it was in that case. So from here, it could be, like I said, 3-4 months before we see that cross, and then some serious upside. But again, the great thing here, and something to be optimistic about, is that we're even more beaten down than we were back here, right? So if we had that big of a move off of a golden cross, imagine what could happen the next time we see that indicator flash, right? And we see that bullish pattern occur. So things are looking good, but like I said, we still have a lot of work to do, at least 3 or 4 months, in my opinion, before we confirm monthly uptrends, before we confirm weekly uptrends and weekly candle closes above the EMA 26, and then golden crosses. And we don't want to just see that in Trulieve, we want to see that across the sector. MSOS, the ETF that tracks the US operators, is looking really juicy as well. So I think we had a Powbot algorithm buy alert go off on that one as well. So things are starting to heat up in the sector, no pun intended. And it's looking like we could see some fireworks into the fall. But like I said, not just on Trulieve, we need uptrends across the sector on the monthly and the weekly time frame. We need golden crosses across the sector, and most names need to see 2 to 3, preferably candle closes on the weekly time frame over EMA 26. And if we can get that on US producers, Canadian producers, retailers in US and Canada, ETFs in Canada and US, things are looking really, really good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rob with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next video.